Folks, hey, I'm here. I'm not running late. You're running late. That's right. Running a little late. Like like 12 seconds late, okay? Here's the thing. I thought the coffee maker was on still. Yeah, my little NBC cup. I thought the coffee maker was on. It had turned off, apparently. We're gonna have to look into that very strongly. And I had to warm up the coffee in the microwave. Which I do 20 times a day, but I was not expecting to have to do that right before I got on this little stream. I should start the stream by saying thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Q&A on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel. I'll be here every Friday throughout the season, throughout the regular season, maybe even the postseason. Who knows? Things might get crazy. You never know. To answer your start sits, your trade questions, your queries about life in general, things of that nature. Okay. I do want to emphasize that I have never gotten a start sit wrong. And if someone says that I did, they are plainly and simply lying. So don't believe them at all. But yeah, thank you for joining. We're going to start with your questions here. Thank you for joining and for throwing in some questions before I logged on. I mean, you guys are on it. You know I'm going to be here. I get a bunch of questions on my little sidebar here. So thank you. By the way, check out my regression files piece, which is on Rotoworld right now, along with all my colleagues do great work throughout the week. Rotopats ranks, Kyle Dvorak's waiver wire piece, and his 32 stats piece. Zach Kruger has analysis up on the site right now, today, Friday, on expected fantasy points. And listen, you can't feed your family with expected fantasy points. That's true. That's inarguable. No one would say that. Okay, honestly, no one would say that you can feed, but it is good to know which guys are, well below their expected fantasy points and well above. So check that out too. Zach Kruger doing a lot of good work for Rotoworld. All right, let's start here. I really want to get Tank Dell into my lineup this week. I have Devontae Smith, who is battling some sort of illness, Puka and Waddle. Oh, you can only start 3 receivers. You got to get into a league where you can start 4 or more, man. That's tough. I mean, yeah, you can't. I don't think you can start Dell over any of those guys. Well, it's a good problem to have. There are bad problems to have, like not having enough viable receivers, and then there are good problems like I can't stuff Tank Dell into my lineup. You'll be okay. I believe in your potential. That's a good team. I'm ready to dump Gibbs. Well, don't do that. I mean, yeah. Look, the dream of Jahmyr Gibbs paying off his redraft capital. Okay, like you took him in the 2nd round or 3rd round. That dream is dead. That dream has been dead. Okay, like it's dead. Even if David Montgomery misses more time, it's not happening. It's just not happening. This is a team that gets really excited to draft players and really not use them. But Jahmyr Gibbs can be a fine, PPR running back too. DeAndre Swift on a points per game basis. Matthew Berry mentioned this during the Fantasy Football Happy Hour, which I made an appearance on. Hope you saw that, Dad, if you're out there. Gibbs can be a viable RB2. DeAndre Swift was the RB15 or RB16 in points per game last year. So in this Lions offense, in that same sort of role that Gibbs inherited. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ian. You need one, James Cook or Brandon Ayuk. I mean, Ayuk is a good play, especially if Deebo is out. James Cook is what I would call in an eruption spot because the Dolphins defense in general is not good. Okay. I was going to say great, and then I was going to say good. So I said good. It's not good. is what I would say. And especially their rush defense. It is not good at all. Quite bad. Javonte Williams was going to have a big game last week for Denver against the Dolphins if the game hadn't got catastrophically out of control for the Broncos offense. James Cook is in a really good spot. Now, is James Cook going to score 3 touchdowns here? No, he's not. He's going to score 1. We're hoping for 1. We're hoping for just the 1 touchdown. It's going to have to come probably from outside of the red zone, which is a tough ask. Okay. But James Cook is seeing a lot of the workload. He has at least 16 touches in all 3 games for Buffalo. The Bills seem okay with, checking down and establishing the run. Damian Harris and Latavius Murray will continue to get the goal line work, which is just so deeply unfortunate for us James Cook drafters. But it's okay. You drafted Cook in the 6th round, in the 7th round. You're fine with what you're getting. And the Dolphins are a bad rush defense. So go with James Cook. And that goes for anybody watching. If you can get Cook into your lineup, you do it. All right. Should I drop Khalil Herbert for Spears? Well, yeah, I mean, you're not using Herbert, and then Spears is probably like an RB1, like a top 12 play if Henry gets dinged up. So yeah, do that. The man, the myth, yes, it's me. Tell my wife. I need a screenshot of this for my wife. Oh man, you guys are too kind. Too kind. Listen, you don't have to flatter me. I'm gonna answer your questions. Okay, you don't have to flatter me, but the flattery helps. So thank you. Rashad White, Achane, Godwin, Zay Flowers, pick 2 for PPR. Points per first down. Oh God, that throws a wrench in the whole thing. Now, go with Achane and Flowers. Flowers is seeing a crazy workload, like so many routes. He's leading the team in routes. He's leading the team in green zone targets, meaning inside the 10. I know, like all of it is like PPR scam stuff for Flowers, but I'll take it. I don't mind a scam. Scams are what make this country great. Michelle, pick 1 PPR, need major upside. That means that you ran into David Montgomery on Thursday night. And I feel your pain, Michelle, because I did too. And that stings. I mean, the first touchdown, you're like, all right, it's fine. I'm fine. Second touchdown, you're like, oh, that stings a little. Third touchdown, you're like, oh, sweet God, please, no more. I can't take it. I cannot take any more. A 3 touchdown Thursday night bomb against you is so tough, but you can come back from this and I'll help you here. Major upside. You only pick 1 of those people. Gosh darn. Kyron Williams, Kamara, Moss, Tank Dell. Jeez. Honestly, probably Kyron Williams. Just seeing an insane amount of targets in that offense. He's not good, but thankfully it doesn't matter. All right, Marco, Tank Dell, Stevenson, Cook. Yeah, I'm starting Cook and Dell. I do want to mention, though, the Patriots running backs have a good matchup against this Cowboys defense. So I had an Instagram post, okay? I've been doing Instagram to appeal to the Zoomers, trying to cultivate an audience of 20-somethings who are always on the gram, doing things for the gram. The Cowboys are quite bad against the rush. Only the Bengals give up more yards before contact per attempt. That's a mouthful, and that makes for horrible podcasting, let me tell you. And I would never mention it on air, but just between you and me, that metric's very important, okay? Because it's closely correlated to long runs and success on the ground. The Cowboys are a good target. Saying that, I would go with Cook and Dell. So Deshaun Watson is struggling with a shoulder injury. Apparently, he was talking to trainers on Friday at practice. He had 2, quote, half-hearted throws at Friday practice for the Browns. He's listed as questionable. So I would say, he's trending toward playing, but just be careful there. Horrible matchup. I'd probably go Stroud, honestly. Happy Friday to you. It is my Friday. I just want everyone to know. Kamara or ETN? That's a tough one. I'd go with ETN. I'd go with ETN. Who are you benching between Puka, Kamara, and Higgins? Look, yeah. So listen, I wrote up T Higgins in my regression files piece. T Higgins is set to blow up. Okay, like truly set to go off. I think you need to play him this week. You need to play Puka as well. So I guess Kamara sits. This is a good question. Who am I stacking in DFS this week? I don't have that right in front of me. I will post about that at some point. But I think that there are some interesting games that that you can stack that will be unpopular, and that might be unique in large field tournaments. I don't think that the Bears Broncos game will be popular, and I don't mean I know that sounds like I'm joking, being sarcastic, but I mean, we're talking about 2 heinous defenses. Okay, I know the offenses are also not great, although Denver's offense has been okay. I think that that's a very stackable game because you can go Russell Wilson and then Sutton and Mims. I'm not putting Judy in there. And then you can you can throw DJ Moore in there. You can throw Cole Kmet in there. And another way to play this game is like a skinny stack, which would look something like Javonte Williams and DJ Moore. Okay, so like a quarterbackless stack. So that game intrigues me a little bit. Also, the Niners Cardinals game is interesting to me, stacking wise. That's a little more complicated because you have some more high profile names in there, but those are 2 games that jump out. I wish I could talk more about that. Brandon Ayuk or Miles Sanders? I'd go with Ayuk. Yes, I'm always up for giving my expert kicker advice. Yeah. So you're using Carlson from the Raiders. What's the first name? Yeah, man, why am I blanking on this? Raiders kicker. Yeah, Daniel Carlson. Don't know why I didn't know that. I was thinking of Anders Carlson for the Packers. Daniel Carlson. I told you in the preseason you don't draft Daniel Carlson, and yet you did. That's curious. Yeah, so Brandon Aubrey from Dallas is a great option. I wrote these up in the waiver wire piece this week. I put it in Kyle Dvorchak's waiver wire piece. You have I'm trying to think of some games here. Think of some games, Denny. One time. The Vikings kicker. This is great. This is fantastic. The Vikings kicker. That's what I would say to you. Also, Brandon McManus of the Jags. Guys of that nature. So, there you go. Would you trade Gibbs straight up for Rachaad White? No. I don't think so, no. You're on a train. My guy Dave is on a train. Just to let you know, I'm starting Pitts, Kincaid, and Ferguson. I'm also starting Hall and Warren. That's I won't at you because you're down bad, man. You're down so bad. Oh no. Sorry. Yeah, I wait all day for Sunday night. I just sit there and like this person, DM Sports, and I twiddle my thumbs. I'm a good thumb twiddler. I've been twiddling for my whole life, and I just twiddle and I wait. Is it Sunday night yet? Can I watch Sunday Night Football? Is Carrie Underwood on my screen? Like that. And then and then it happens. Oh, I've been waiting all day for this. Thank God, it's finally on. I can turn on my TV. All right. Should I start Hall, Breece Hall, I suppose, McKinnon, or Taylor Swift? I'd lean Taylor Swift. Start Hall. All right. Half PPR, start 3. Oh, that's so many players. I appreciate all the nice words. Start 3. All right. Well, you're starting AJ Brown. Come on, man. What are you doing? Do I start AJ Brown? Yes. He's, by the way, AJ Brown is leading the Eagles in air yards and target share by an enormous margin. Okay. Like, it's not even close. So he's the clear cut wide receiver 1 in one of the most potent offenses in the league. I say you start him, and you can cancel me if you want, but I say you start AJ Brown, and then you're going to start Waddle, and you're going to start Puka. Don't worry about last week, folks. It's Puka season. You're starting Connor, Madison, and Tank Dell at running backs. Should I keep Addison? So many names. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, man, Madison's a tough start. I would put Addison over Madison. Funny how that works. Did your bosses ban the button shirts? They did. Here's the thing. My bosses, they sent shock troops to my home. They kicked down the door. They raided my closet in the middle of the night, and they took away all my button downs. I am without button down shirts now. I just all I have left in my wardrobe, and the shock troops made sure this is my NBC Rotoworld shirt. That's it. That's all I have. I got to wash this thing every day. This is all I have left. They said no more, because you know what? They saw last week's stream when I had too many buttons unbuttoned, and that violated FCC protocol, laws, rules, regulations, things of that nature. And it's, so it was a reasonable response. I'll be honest. I'm not even mad. Was I crying? Yes. Of course I was. I was very scared. It was a frightening experience, but I'm left with this. Should I trade Montgomery and James Conner for Bijan? Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. Yeah. Bijan really obviously hasn't gone off yet, but things are trending in that direction. The Jags are on paper, and that's really all I care about. On paper, they're a bad matchup for running backs. They also are. It's a little bit deceiving because they played against Deion Jackson in week 1. Deion Jackson in week 1 for the Colts had, what conservatively can be called the worst running back performance of a generation, and maybe in the history of the league. Okay, it was that bad. So the Jags are not like running back. The Jags are not a defense to completely avoid for running backs. I think Bijan gets there this week. All right. Yes. Ryan says you have CMC, but my RB2s are terrible. Oh, terrible. Akers, Roshan, Herbert. I have Olave. Blah, 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 blah. Should I trade Waddle for Najee Kirk or Rashad Kirk? Don't worry about it, man. No, just run with it. You're fine. Cam Akers going to be a thing. Cam Akers is going to be the RB1 in Minnesota before you know it. Just hang tight. Hang tight. Is it time to stash Heineke? Oh yeah. Yeah, stash Heineke. Also listen everyone. Listen up. This is actionable information. I don't do this very often, okay? But I'm going to do it now. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the rookie quarterback for the Browns, has a small outside chance maybe to start this week against Baltimore. Bad spot. I get it. Not a great matchup. But Deshaun Watson is ailing. He has a sore shoulder. I'm a doctor, so I can show you the shoulder area is tough, is very sore and maybe injured for Deshaun Watson. DTR, this is what the kids call him, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He needs to be picked up in super flex right now. Right now. You keep the stream on, okay? Don't go anywhere, but go to your league and your phone, however the Zoomers do it, and you pick up DTR right now, because he would be fun. He'd be he's a mobile guy, played really well in the preseason. So get him. Grade the trade. I traded ETN, Dell, Goddard for Barkley. Yeah, that's an A+. You get a star sticker from me, Will. That's what you get. All right. Alex says, I had a great start to the week with Monty. Let's go. Do I go for the jugular and start Fields or Richardson at quarterback, or play more conservatively with Dak? Look, my guiding light, my guiding principle in fantasy football is to maximize scoring. Okay. To score the most points. So in this case, I think that's Richardson. And that it's not too much of a risk. I know he got knocked out of the game last time he played. I don't think that you can really get too worried about that. I'm starting Richardson there. Good luck. All right. Trade my AJ Brown for their Waddle and Swift. No, man. No. AJ Brown is a great regression candidate. I know people don't like to hear about regression. This is why I write the regression files, because people don't like to hear about regression. But AJ Brown is a great candidate to get it going. Let me, hold on. Let me talk to you about my guy, AJ Brown. Oh boy, I mistyped. Yeah, well, I'll talk to you in a minute because the numbers are not coming up. But anyway, he's dominating. He should be fine. All right. Hunter Henry, Jake Ferguson, or Parham. If Gerald Everett is out, then Parham. If not, then Henry. Ferguson is still not really running a lot of routes. Is it too cute? We don't want to get too cute to start Jacoby Myers over Chris Olave, given the QB situation for the Saints. I guess the situation is also up in the air for the Raiders. Yeah. So yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, questionable-ish. Maybe with a brain injury. I think it's a little too cute. Not a lot too cute. A little too cute to start Myers over Olave. But man, hey, Jacoby Myers turned out to be a great pick. Like that Raiders target distribution is very tight. Okay, we're talking Adams, Myers, and that's it. Okay, a little bit of Josh Jacobs sometimes, but nobody else. I don't think there's another Raiders receiver who has over 3 targets this year. Okay, it's just nobody exists beyond Myers and Devontae. Myers could honestly end up being, if he has some good luck in the touchdown category, some good variance, I should say. We don't say luck. No such thing as luck. It's too crass of a word. I'm never crass. Myers could end up being one of the bigger difference makers, I think, in all of fantasy football this season. Perry must be on the West Coast. Good morning to the West Coast, by the way. The American Ryder Cup team stinks, just to update you on what's going there. Madison or Mostert, PPR. Madison or Mostert, Mostert, yeah. Can you please send good vibes for Justin Fields? Yes. I don't. How do you send good vibes? I don't know. Can the Zoomer tell me how to send good vibes? It's good vibes. Is this Justin Fields? Please. Look, Justin Fields had 7 design rushes last week. That's something. That's not nothing. All right. He had 4 total in the first 2 weeks. He had 7 last week. He had 11 total rushes. We can work with that. Give me double-digit rushes every week from Justin Fields. He'll break one off, maybe 2, and we're in business, folks. We're in business. And the Denver defense is so bad. All right, how do you feel about Achane? Well, Marquise Brown might not play. He hurt his thumb in practice on Thursday. Keep it locked into Rotoworld for all the updates, and it's really unfortunate because the 49ers defense is the most extreme pass funnel defense in the league by a large margin. Okay. Here are the top pass funnels. Niners by a huge margin. Jags doesn't matter against the Falcons because the Falcons established no matter what. Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Titans. Okay, those are the most extreme pass funnels. So I think that volume wise, it really would have worked out for Marquise Brown if Marquise Brown is out. Now that is a good scenario to look at. Sorry, I just burped. That's rude. That's too rude for me. Let me look real quick. But yeah, so anyway, I would start Achane right now. But we'll see how it goes. So Michael Wilson is second in routes among receivers for Arizona. He's actually second just by a small margin in air yards too. So Michael Wilson would become very interesting if Marquise Brown is out. You're having a mid-off. I love that term. Having a mid-off at your flex. No, Dotson, Johnston, or Herbert. That is, that's a lot of mid going back and forth. Look, I'm actually like completely out on Washington players. I think the Eagles defense could set back the Commanders like 40 years this week. I like the Sam Howell just stands no chance against that front seven for Philadelphia. No chance. Okay. The Bills defenders came out after the game last week and they said we knew exactly what Sam Howell's going to do because he telegraphs everything. I'm paraphrasing. Okay. But Hal telegraphs where he's going to throw it, what the play is. We knew the play call. We know everything. You think the Eagles are not going to know this? Okay. And they pressure the quarterback at one of the highest rates in the league. Man, it is Jover for Sam Howell. Just get Brissett in there. Brissett's going to play this week. Mark my words. So not Dotson. I guess Herbert. Because Johnston, you might not play a lot. I know that he's probably so Quentin Johnston's probably going to take the deep stuff that Mike Williams was seeing, because Mike Williams obviously out for the year with an ACL, but he's not, he's going to be a distant wide receiver 3 behind Keenan Allen and behind Josh Palmer. I don't like that Josh Palmer is going to see 10 targets, but I'm going to accept it. It's going to happen. I'm upset. So go with Herbert. Half PPR, Mixon or Achane. That's tough because Mixon has a nightmare matchup against the Titans. Nobody's getting there against the Titans on the ground. I have to tell you to go with Achane. I do. Look, the game environment is really good between the Dolphins and Bills, one of the highest, if not the highest total of the week between Buffalo and Miami. Buffalo has some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to be without Jordan Poyer, their star safety. So could be a lot of back and forth. That that's good. It's good for a guy like Achane. Get him in there. Superflex 5 running back or 1 odd man play. I'm so confused, brother. I'm so confused. What? So bench Stevenson. Ben Stevenson. Cole Turner overtake Logan Thomas this year. That's a good question. Maybe. He's Cole Turner's someone to stash in larger leagues, deeper leagues. Patrick at flex and PPR, Kyron Mostert or Moss. Also only 1 month until robe season. That's right. The robe's coming back. I need it to get cooler, though. Apparently, next week in Maryland, it's supposed to be 80-something degrees. So the robe will not be back next week, but we're going to creep toward Halloween, and then eventually I'm going to have that robe on, and you guys are going to love it. You're going to tell me how good it looks. I'd go with Kyron. Should I start Palmer, Mims, or Tutu Atwell? Man, it's between Atwell and Palmer. I mean, Mims is interesting in that he's the best receiver on the Broncos and the fastest guy alive. I just don't know about the playing time. Like, it's just you kind of have to wish and hope that Sean Payton sees the light. And I personally can't do that. Can't pin my hopes and dreams on that happening. I'd go with Atwell. I would go with Atwell. Since Deebo's banged up, should I go with 3 running backs, Moss, Williams, Cook, or risk it with Deebo in the flex? I mean, you have to see. You have to see with Deebo. Watch the reports. Keep it locked in to Rotoworld. We're going to have all your Deebo Samuel reports. We're going to have 15 updates this weekend. Mark my words. Sorry to get in your face like that. It's a little much. Carlos. I need an upside play after starting Musgrave. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, no, listen, if it's between Achane and Madison, listen, I will have you arrested if you play Madison over Achane. And I don't apologize for it. I will do it. I will work with the local police and you will be arrested. So you better start Achane, brother. Tajay Spears, Elijah Mitchell, Khalil Herbert, Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly, so bad. You want to know the worst thing about the Josh Kelly thing? He's not even facing like stacked boxes. Okay. He's facing stacked boxes at one of the lowest rates in the entire NFL through 3 weeks. And he still can't do anything. Okay. He's in a great environment, great offense. Truly not good. This is what I would say. Who you holding if you can only hold 2? Well, I would hold Spears and I would hold Mitchell. Oh, my computer came unplugged. Hold on a second. All right. We're back. All right. Tua or Lamar? I'd go with Tua. Pickens, Dell, Palmer, or Gabe Davis? Go with Tank Dell. 1 flex. Myers, Madison, Addison, Moore. Okay, it's if Jimmy Garoppolo plays, it's Myers. Otherwise, it's Addison. And then I would play Stroud. Yeah, by the way, guys, look, when I talked about Groupie, the kicker for the Saints, I didn't mean like to play him no matter what. Like, you shouldn't have been playing him last week. It was just kind of a fun thing. So you can drop him for somebody else. Yeah, let me actually look up. So I know you guys are hungry for the kicker takes, and I'm gonna give them to you. Okay. Yeah, so the regulars you're starting. I'm trying to find some guys down the list here. Yeah, Greg Joseph is a good start this week against Carolina. Matt Gay is a good play against the Rams. Graham Gano against the Seahawks. Oh, Chris Boswell. Chris Boswell is in a really good spot against the Texans. So get those guys if you're still starting Groupie for some reason. That's a lot. 2 wide receivers. Well, Chase, yeah. I mean, Chase and Smith, and then Najee and Kyron Williams and Achane. There you go. Whew. That was a trek. I would go with Tank Dell. I like points. I'm going to go with Tank Dell. Yes. All right. Greg Joseph. Thank you for that. Wow. I am behind, folks. All right. For my full flex, for my flex and a full PPR, Tank Dell, Javonte Williams, or Christian Kirk. Tank Dell. I guess I'm just going to tell everyone to play Tank Dell. I would play Lamar. Full PPR. Who would you drop? I guess I would drop Higbee, I guess. But wow, that's bleak. That's bleak. I would go with Richardson over Cousins. I mean, the Cousins. The thing about here's the great part about starting Cousins, because I actually have him in a couple leagues, and the great thing is it doesn't matter if he has like 8 points at halftime, you know he's going to end up with 20 plus because you know that the Vikings can't do anything but throw the ball. And there's really no reason for them to do anything but to throw the ball. Like, he's always going to get there to an extent. Does Kirk Cousins have like an insane ceiling every week? No, he doesn't. He hardly has any ceiling at all. Excuse me. But the Vikings pass volume makes him very safe, I should say. Should I trade Montgomery and James Conner? Oh, I think you already asked that. Wait, did I like fall behind? Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. Oh God, okay. All right, we have 30 minutes. Well, no, we have 23 minutes left. Is Khalil Herbert worth holding, or is the Bears backfield? I mean, yeah, you can hold him. Okay, the one thing that you kind of have going for you right now is that if you look at target distribution, no one targets the running back position more than the Bears so far. We have Bears, Falcons, Broncos, Jets, Panthers as the top 5 in target share to running backs. So that could eventually pay off for Herbert. Half PPR, need 1 running back and 1 flex. Mixon, Kamara, Achane, Pittman, Evans, blah, blah, blah. 1 running back and 1 flex. Man, oh man, oh man. Achane and Evans. Achane and Evans. Puka Nacua, AJ. Come on, man. AJ Brown. Come on. Wilson over Lamar this week. Is that crazy? That's a little crazy. You know, I like to get cute. Okay, everybody likes to be a little bit cute. Okay. I mean, listen, you start Russell Wilson over Lamar, and Russell Wilson scores, I don't know, 25, and Lamar scores like 12, and you're feeling good. You're feeling so good about yourself. This is why I play the game. I grind the film. I grind the stats, and this is why. Because I know to play Russell Wilson over Lamar Jackson. That's me. I took that chance, and it worked. But man, rest in pieces if it's the other way around. If Russell underperforms and Lamar has his normal day, scores a couple of rushing touchdowns, whatever. Oh, man. So that's a long way of me saying I would play Lamar. That, look, Russell's in a great spot. Okay, I call him Russell because I know him personally. I don't. All right, Lamar Jackson is a tough week. Well, you don't think Gino? Well, look, I'm not forcing you. Look, Gino's a fine play. He's a fine play. The Giants' defense not so great. Should I drop? Okay, should I drop Kane? No. I'm sorry. I got a little worked up. No, you shouldn't. Hang on. I think that he will pay off bigly down the line. Should I drop Drake London? In a 10-team league, I think you can drop Drake London. 12-team, you hold on to him. Let me tell you a depressing stat. Okay, I'm full of depressing stats. Here's one, the most depressing maybe. The Falcons are at the bottom of the league, 32nd in target share to wide receivers. 35% of the team's targets total have gone to receivers. Not one receiver, not London. All of the Falcons receivers have combined for a 35% target share. The next closest team, the Commanders, at a 50% target share for their wide receivers. That's bleak. That's very dark. I feel like Arthur Smith has taken it too far in his trolling of fantasy managers. And this idea that Arthur Smith pushes, he pushes it hard. Our guys don't care. They don't care about stats. They're not fantasy dorks. Drake London doesn't care that he's not involved in the game plan at all, that he's just out there getting cardio. He's getting a good workout every Sunday, running, back and forth. No prospects of seeing the ball, but he's in good shape. This is what Arthur Smith says. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. I don't care what Drake London says. I'm sure Drake London is devastated to not be part of the team's offense at all. Anyway, I wouldn't drop him in 12 teams. Marco is back. Thielen or Flowers, and Richardson or Lawrence. Richardson and Flowers. Don't get too over your skis on Thielen there, okay? Right. yes, when you make a great fantasy call, when you take a chance and it works out, I'm him. I've never said that in my life. It felt weird. I don't think I'm going to do that again. That was a one-time deal. Yeah. So I have Josh Allen. I picked up Kyler Murray and stashed him on what? So you think I can get a game out of him and use him trade bait? That sounds a little hopeful. A little hopeful. I would start Richardson. Guys, look. Last time Anthony Richardson played, he was on his way to a 50-point fantasy game. Okay? Let's remember that. Let's remember that. Anthony Richardson is the real deal. The Colts provide a really good offensive environment for Richardson and the rest of the playmakers in that offense because look, their defense is not good and it won't be good throughout this year. So they're going to have to keep their foot on the accelerator. They're going to have to keep scoring points. And they run the fifth most offensive plays through week 3. So they're out there for a lot of plays. That's good. That's good for our purposes. Yeah, get Richardson in there. I'm trying to find some things I missed. Holding Dotson. I'd rather have Reed. Yeah. Can you see Zach Charbonnet becoming an RB2 soon? I mean, no, not until unless Ken Walker goes down, So yeah, that's my take. Oh man, my guy is down. Incredibly bad at running back. Your stack. I like your receivers. I don't love your running backs. This is what I would say. Thinking about sending Madison and one receiver for 2 running backs if possible. And you are stacked receiver. That is not a lie. Not a lie. Yeah, I mean, I think that you could probably trade, but the thing is, what are you going to get for Addison? If Dell has another big week, maybe you could trade him. All right, Dell or Kirk or Javonte. I think I already answered that. Does the Taysom Hill package have a chance at flex value? Yeah, I think it does. I do. I think that I think Taysom is I'm starting him at tight end in 2 leagues this week because, well, I'm down bad at tight end, real bad, horrifically actually. So I think you can start Taysom Hill. I think it's conceivable he'll get 5 touches this week. And honestly, you can't say that for many waiver wire tight ends. Oh, I already answered that. I have Watson. Should I play him or pick up Wilson, Purdy? Yeah, so for this week, I would rather start Purdy and I would rather start Russell Wilson over Deshaun Watson. So either of those guys. I would prefer – I actually prefer Wilson over in that group. All right, folks, we have 16 minutes. Drop Josh Kelly since he's – I mean, yeah, he'll learn his lesson. Listen, he'll see that you've dropped him and he'll say, dang, I couldn't be on AM's fantasy team. And that, that'll set him straight. So I think that's a good call. Achane says full PPR trade Kelsey and Tank Dell for Cooper, Goddard, and Montgomery. No, let's not get crazy, please. Just dumped Njoku for Musgrave. Well, okay. Look at Musgrave is running all the routes. He actually has an amazing receiving profile. You can't hold it against him that he had a brain injury on Thursday night. You're going to drop him because he got hurt? I mean, obviously, if he's like hurt for an extended period, you could just go ahead and drop him. But Musgrave's profile is excellent. Keep it going, man. Let's go. All right. I like how you added Rotoworld. Hey, Denny better answer my question. I added his employer. Flex, need 2 of Kamara, Evans, Garrett Wilson, blah, 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 blah. I would go with Evans and Kamara. Half PPR. Someone offered me Hurts. Hurts, Andrews. Wow. And Breece Hall for Richardson, Barkley, Hurts, Andrews, and I mean, you can't start Breece Hall, but like the fact that you're getting Hurts and Andrews, why? Yeah, I would do that. Do it. Isaiah Pacheco over Mixon this week. Whoa, yeah, well, no, look, I don't know if you say you have Zeke, Swift, and Hunt on the roster. I would rather have Swift over Pacheco or Mixon. I hope that helps. Start Miles Sanders, B-Rob, or Brob, as we're calling him, or Achane at flex. Achane. I also have Gibbs and Kyron Williams locked in. Yeah, I mean, you might as well. It depends on the matchup. It depends on the likely game script. Look, the Lions have the second lowest pass rate over expected. Did on Thursday night against Packers, they did exactly what they want to do, which is just establish the run like it's 1967. Okay. And they hammered the Packers late in that game. They had no intention of throwing it, no intention of having a balanced offense. So I think when the Lions are entering a game where they're clearly going to have game script on their side, that's going to be tough sledding for Jahmyr Gibbs, usually. Okay. And it's going to be great, usually, for David Montgomery. In a game that could be back and forth, in a game where the Lions are underdogs, and that's not going to happen very often, honestly. I know we're used to the Lions being dogs all the time. They got that dog in them. That's what I'll say. And look, I went on the Fantasy Football Happy Hour show back in March during free agency, and the Lions had just signed David Montgomery a couple days earlier. And I said, look, guys, Montgomery's going to be a thing in this offense because he has that dog. Okay. You know who else has the dog in him? Multiple dogs, really? If you look closely enough, Dan Campbell has so much dog in him, it's ridiculous. So dog recognizes dog. Of course Montgomery was going to work out in Detroit. He's boring. His peripheral stats are hideous. Okay, the nerds are beside themselves. Oh, but you got rush yards over expected aren't good, and his rush yards before contact per attempt is awful. Who cares? It doesn't matter. He has that dog. That's all that matters. The fact that he runs over people, they like that. Coaches like that. Dan Campbell loves that. That's all that matters. We need a metric for that. The dog metric. All right. But anyway. So Gibbs is a matchup-based play. That's what I'm saying. All right. Is Jameson Williams worth a stash? I think so. I mean, they really don't have a downfield pass catcher right now. So there you go. Oh, man, this is tough. Yeah, I mean, Burrow has a really good matchup, but again, Burrow is all dinged up. So, gosh, I had to say Russell Wilson. God, oh, my God, it's horrible. But yes, Russell Wilson, obviously, is the play. Drop Bigsby for McKinnon. I mean, if you need McKinnon now, then do that. But, like, Bigsby is the RB2. So if ETN goes down and misses time, Bigsby is in for like 15 to 18 touches in that Jacksonville offense. A Jacksonville offense that will probably improve down the line. I will say that. I know I've kind of been a little bit anti-Jags online lately, but obviously Trevor Lawrence is not bad. They'll get it right. So, but I mean, if you have to have somebody this week, it's McKinnon. All right, guys, we have 10 minutes left. Burrow or Geno? I go Geno. Look, Burrow is not right. He's just not right. I'm gonna get incredibly nerdy here. So nerdy it'll probably alienate most of you, but nevertheless, I must. Joe Burrow is in the bottom 5 in air yards conversion rate. Okay, so like the percentage of his air yards that are actually being converted into something we like to call actual real life yards is near the bottom of the league, like with like Sam Howell and Justin Fields and other guys like that. Okay. Usually over the past 2 seasons, Joe Burrow is in the top 5 in that category. So something is wrong. Something is very wrong. And I'm going to guess it's the severe calf injury he suffered 1 month ago, 6 weeks ago. Still happening, still going on. How do I get? I mean, you just type in your question, brother. I will answer it. I have 9 minutes remaining. Did I miss anybody's? Oh, here you go. Elliot, yeah. Listen, you're starting Elliot every week. I don't know what got into Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni loves his field goals this year. He did not love them last year. He is just taking field goals by the handful. Jake Elliott is benefiting big time. So get him in there. He's an every week play. Did I miss any? Just joined and see rate Stroud. Yeah, I mean, Stroud is way safer. Just way safer. I don't know what to say, man. I do not know what to say. Oh, yeah. So I'm sorry. Rob, I got a little nerdy there. Game script, meaning like a game flow, like getting back to the Lions, like if the Lions are down multiple scores in the second half, they're probably not going to be running it with Montgomery. Okay. They're going to be dropping back, throwing it a lot. That probably involves Jahmyr Gibbs more than it does Montgomery. Now, if the game flow is in their favor, and the Lions can just hand it off to Montgomery 100 times, then that's what they're going to do. That's what I meant by that. Oh gosh, I would go with Flowers. It's really close though. Calvin Austin or Mims. Now, this is a deep league. I respect this person for Americo, for playing in such a deep league. I don't know. Mims. Go with Mims. Boswell. Yeah, no. Listen, everyone. Jake Moody, the kicker for the Niners, he's an every week play going forward. If you have him, you're starting him, and there's no questions about it. I will have no question about Jake Moody. It's flex Devontae or Higgins or Najee. Gosh, I'm tempted to go Higgins. It's such a good matchup against the Titans. And I know Higgins has been disappointing, but everything, all the underlying stuff is in line. Like there's nothing that really freaks me out there. Oh man, I think I'd go Higgins actually. McPherson did get more points for me last week. Well, yeah, I mean, look, he could get more points again this week, but we go by the process. And the process says Jake Moody is always going to be a really good play. McPherson will be a good play most weeks. DK or Evans with a glass of whiskey and an umbrella. It's raining and you're drinking. Maybe. I don't know. I would go DK. Will Mostert keep it up? Or, well, no, he's not going to keep up what he did last week when he scored, 4 touchdowns against the Broncos. But I think he's still going to be, he's going to be on the good side of a 65-35 backfield split for now. I think you just go with him. Just go with him. Stafford or Danny Dimes, Daniel D. Dimes. I would go with Dimes. I wanted to mention just real quick, the Seahawks are getting hammered by slot receivers this season. Could be really good for Paris Campbell, maybe, or Wandale Robinson. Wandale Robinson made his season debut last week and ran 8 routes and was targeted on 5 of them. That is nuts. Really crazy. So if they ramp up Wandale Robinson, he's in a really good spot if you're in a deep league. Okay. All right. I'm glad we're on the same page. Lamar or Danny Dimes? I'd go with Lamar. Wait, did I answer this one? I'd go with Daniel D. Dimes. And just to be sure, I'd go with Dimes. Looks like Deshaun Watson's out? Really? Wow. Let me see. I'm going to check Rotoworld real quick. No, he's not out. He actually he said he's going to play. So it's the opposite. It's the opposite. Traded Devontae Adams, Moss, and Gainwell for Eckler, and Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis? Bad trade. I was selling high. Still have Cup. Yeah, it's a bad trade. I don't know, man. Probably bad. Probably bad. I will be honest with you. Thanks. You too, buddy. Oh, we have someone storming into the chat, answering questions on their own. A renegade, a rebel without a cause, saying, "I'm going to answer these questions. No one's asking me, but I'm going to answer them." I respect it. I'm not even upset about it. Okay. You're trying to get in there, trying to get into the action. Kyron Williams, yes. Kyron. Oh, you're still doing it, you renegade, you little rascal. You stop that. Half PPR, Dotson, Marquise, or Flowers. Yeah, right. I mean, I would probably say Marquise, but it can't be Dotson. Has to be Zay Flowers. I skip. Wait. Whom did I skip? Cameron Junk. Come on, Cameron Junk. Oh, here you go. All right, here we go. Cameron Junk, PPR league, need 2 wide receivers and a flex. So many players. Oh my gosh. I'd go with Devontae, Puka, and Myers. Yeah. Yep. All right, folks. Over the last couple minutes here, I wanted to mention the pass rate over expected for weeks 1 to 3. So this is basically teams that are really airing it out, no matter the game script or game flow. Chiefs, as per usual, lead the league by a long shot. But then you have Washington, the Rams, the Vikings, the Chargers, and the Bengals and the Seahawks. You would have to think that if that Washington thing holds up and if Jacoby Brissett gets in there, that Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson can be salvaged for fantasy purposes. That's the hope. And then one down in third place in pass rate over expected, you have the Rams. And so I do think that Puka can keep going even with Cooper Kupp coming back. Tutu Atwell still remains interesting, and Kyron Williams remains interesting from a PPR standpoint because he's so involved in the pass game and he's running so many routes. Metrics wise, Kyron Williams is a disaster, but it's really hard to bench him even in like a 10-team league because he's so involved in one of the pass heaviest offenses in the NFL. So really that's what we should be going for with pass catchers. I mean, not exclusively. It shouldn't be the way that you conduct all of your fantasy business, but I think that, finding these sorts of offenses that throw is good. Like the Vikings, if Jordan Addison eventually seizes that wide receiver 2 role, it's smooth sailing, honestly, from there. Jordan Addison could blow up if he gets that wide receiver 2 role. And then, look, the Bills are actually near the middle of the league in pass rate over expected. They're not airing it out like we're used to. Josh Allen's also throwing a lot of short passes. So it is, not concerning, but certainly it cuts down on the upside for everybody but Diggs. Okay. And I know Gabe Davis has been good so far, but like Dalton Kincaid, probably not going to be a thing unless this Bills offense gets more pass heavy down the line. It's 2:00. That means that I am out of here. Thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Q&A with me, Denny Carter. You can find me at CDCarter13 on X, on what is it called? Threads. I am also on Blue Sky at some complicated address. And I'm on Instagram as well. Check out my regression files for week 4 and keep it locked into Rotoworld for all of the most crucial weekend updates to your fantasy players, injury and otherwise. See you next week.